Hello, welcome back to Dynasty Watch. It's your co-host Christian.
This is your co-host Armand.
Today we'll be talking about the episode 2 of Welcome to Derry, called The Things in the Dark. We'll also be talking about the Scream trailer and be getting into at the end towards a brief bracket of horror movies and what we think of specific horror movies and what we put on top. And yeah, and for we're gonna be doing non spoilers in the beginning. So we'll be talking about no, we're not gonna spoil anything in the beginning, and then we'll get into spoilers. So if you still haven't watched the episode, do not watch until you've watched the episode, and then from there we'll be talking about the screen trailer and then the horror bracket.
Yeah, we'll
And also sorry for the delay of video. We've had some airing issues and editing issues, so we hope to be dropping it within the next day or two. But I'm gonna pass over to my co-host Armand.
yeah, we had a little bit of a audio issue, but we fixed that, and we're gonna be talking about the breakdown of the episode. Like he said, we're gonna talk about the non-spoiler part and then get right into spoilers. Uh, watch the episode and then come back here, or you probably have seen it by now, and we'll get straight into it. So, what's your rating on this episode?
I don't know. It's hard to say. A lot of stuff did happen in this episode. A lot of amazing stuff. And honestly, it would be for me. It was a perfect episode. I think everything that happened throughout the episode, playing with specific introductions, just everything that happened with the mysteries and the certain surprises we got. I don't think it's better than the first one. I think the first one was set to like a high standard that I think just the rest of the episodes throughout the shows are not going to be as good, but I think they're gonna just be they're gonna be really good. Just not as good as the first one. But if I had to rate it, I think I would give it like an 8.5, close to a 9. Just specific stuff for me, just that just happened that I wish didn't happen, and we'll get into that later on throughout the podcast. But what about you, Armand?
For me, I will have to say, I thought this episode was really good. They went further with the storylines that they set up in the first episode. And as I said in the episode before, in our last podcast episode, that the first episode was a bit lowered down for me, not because it was bad by any means, but just because the military storyline wasn't as interesting as the kids storyline. I completely have changed my opinion on that just on this episode. This episode did a great job with the military storyline, and it has made it more interesting to me than before. So this episode to me was just so solid throughout the whole thing. I give it an 8.5. Just only because it's not a full it's not better than the first episode, only because its finale wasn't as strong as this episode. I'm sorry, the finale wasn't as strong as the first episodes, but this episode though to me felt more uh it felt more well rounded. It was really good like throughout the whole episode. I didn't feel like there was a slow moment at all for me, and I felt like actually everything was pretty much like on the same level of how great it was. And the scares this episode definitely were better than the first episodes, I felt. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think everything was just set perfect as it's supposed to be. I think for the wait we got with this show, because assuming that it was supposed to come out, I think last year or the year before this, I think the wait so far has been worth it in my opinion. I think it's living up to the certain standard that set itself that this was going to be a really hype show, and so far it has. I'm pretty sure from what you told me it's like the most watched show on HBO Max, and it's certainly it shows why. Like you explained it, all the scares, everything that was really well done throughout the episode was just amazing. So, um, yeah, there's really nothing to say to it. I think everything was just set to how it was supposed to be, and oh, and also just I'll talk about more throughout the podcast, but yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, I believe what I saw was that this is the third biggest HBO opening they've had. Like for the streaming service is the third biggest most viewed show right off the bat. So that's actually pretty
Mhm.
cool. And then also I think the first episode actually is going to be unmatched for a bit, I will say there are about 2 or 3 moments where I could see, like 2 or 3 episodes where I could see it being better, which is the finale episode, the episode before the finale, and a random episode where they delve into someone's past, because those type of episodes usually end up being sometimes the best episodes in that season of a show. So I could see those type of episodes beating the first ones. But or else I think that it's gonna be hard, and I do hope that the rest of the show carries what this first episode and this episode has brought. And the characters they introduced in this episode
It is
were
not.
very interesting, and it was very fun. Do you want to get into spoilers?
Yeah, I don't think there's really nothing else much to say.
Uh,
I think for just honestly, I feel you can make an argument just for every episode. You know, when it continues to drop, if it's going like the way it is, like every episode, you know, just I feel you can make a valid argument to why it could be better than number one. But I mean, better than the first episode. I'm not saying other stuff, but as it stands for right now, obviously we're just only 2 episodes in. I think just episode one, it's gonna just be hard to beat. But we'll see what happens throughout the show. So.
yeah, and I mean I haven't seen many horror shows, but like this one might be like one of my favorite like horror like shows or horror episode like horror seasons. You know,
Yeah.
I think that this show definitely has potential to reach that for me. So I guess let's get straight into the spoilers. How did you feel about them basically bringing you back to reality right off the bat in the in like the first few minutes of this
Nah,
episode?
I'm gonna still be delusional. I'm gonna still be delusional. I'm gonna still hope that they come back. They come back in the finale. All right. Spoiler alert. I work for the show. They're gonna come back in the finale.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But no, I thought there was a slight chance, and what gave me kind of a little bit of hope was where Lily was just sleeping and stuff like that,
Oh, the dream.
and she woke up from a dream. Yeah, the dream. But then it cut to a specific scene, and I kind of knew that it was the after events of it. So I
Yeah.
got my world crashed, but I'm not really that surprised about it. It's just more more that I'm gonna miss those characters. But I do think the characters that were introduced in the new episode, I think they're gonna be good. I just don't think they'll live up to the specific standard of, or they're just in general, just those characters that we had in the first episode. It's just sad to see that they got killed off right off the bat, and I'm gonna miss them. And the dynamic duo of Ted and Phil, bro, will never be forgotten. All right, we gotta make T-shirts for them. I'm telling you now.
Maybe we should make T-shirts of the cereal box. Um.
That was a tough scene to watch.
But yeah, no, the opening was great. It starts off with Lily having her horrible dream where she relives the moments of the first episode, and yeah, that was great. Like seeing the like literally, she's like you see the like her point of view of like watching everyone die, and the one that I felt that hit the hardest still was seeing that mutant baby look right at Susie and well look at Lily before eating Susie, and then I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like this episode also further cements the whole theory of the turtle charm, possibly saving her whole life right now.
Oh, 100%. She hasn't. So far from what it seems like, she hasn't like she's been affected only from like the vision standpoint or like the imaginations, but
Not
like we
directly
saw,
physically.
yeah, as we saw like three of the we thought was gonna be the main characters for the group. I guess you could say like the loser club, because that's what they're gonna go off of.
The new loser
They
club.
died. Yeah, they died right off the bat. Like the only one that wasn't affected was Ronnie, but that was because she
She was in
wasn't in the
the yeah.
theater. She was in the projector room. So yeah, I think it's just cemented otherwise, and it's sad to see him gone.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
like they've like there's an excuse for Ronnie just because she wasn't there, but the other, but like Lily literally has no excuse since she was directly in like the attacks, and then also like later we'll talk about it too, just the attack later on that she dealt with also kind of like further cemented the idea of that possibly being the thing that saves her, and then
Yeah, or she might just be really lucky.
yeah, and then oh, that'd be funny. Everyone's just thinking of all these things. And then it opens to the intro of the show, which I will say the intro was so good. You know
Gave you
the
that chill vibes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
gave you that
music
kind
they
of creepy
played,
vibe.
it was catchy. It was chilly. Like it gave you like a very like chill. Like it gave you chills hearing it because it. You know what it reminded me of? Of I don't know if you remember this from Insidious, the "Tiptoe Through the Tulips" that song. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that song like playing, like it gave me that sort of feeling. Not as like strong because the person that sang that definitely have had a more like creepy vibe when they put it with the movie. But in this song, it did a pretty good job. The song is called "A Smile and a Ribbon," and it plays throughout the whole intro of the episode. And in that intro, I mean, we see a lot of things that can like easily be like completely broken down. Like we see the Paul Bunyan statue appear. We've also seen the Paul Bunyan statue being built in this season, which is cool.
Yeah, it kind of brought back memories for the movie. Like, it gave it the creepy vibe for the movie.
Oh yeah,
I was-
that's exciting. We see this shot where like this guy is eating with his family at like a picnic, and if you're not aware, in the book there is a character named John Marston who poisons his family and then dies eating a poison mushroom. I'm curious to see if that has any connection to that, just because they're eating, and there's like no direct connections as far as I can see from any other thing. So that was the closest thing I could connect that with. But I'm curious to see if that has anything to do with that. We obviously see a girl looking into a drain. We all know what that's referencing. Little
yeah.
Georgie there. We see Keen's Pharmacy, and those are the people that I don't know if you remember. They gave Eddie those placebos that were supposed to be like his quote unquote asthma that he had, but he never had it.
Yeah, I
Yes.
remember that.
So that's interesting to see that, and then we also see the theater in the intro. That's and also if you read the words, it says that it's playing the Music Man. And we also see the Chinese restaurant that we see the Losers Club meet up in It Chapter 2 with the whole like fortune stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that one's cool. We see Pennywise's glowing eyes with like tentacles coming out, which I hope we see because that looked really cool. Offering a kid
That
like
we
this
did, yeah.
lollipop. Yeah. We see a kid screaming when he's about to get a lobotomy. You know what a lobotomy is, right? Right?
Yeah, I do. I think so. If I remember correctly, what it means.
Lobotomy is like the thing that like they stabbed you, like they basically stab like this sharp thing into your brain and they try to quote unquote fix what is wrong with you.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Now I
Yeah,
know it.
but
Yeah.
usually it ended up making the kids like brain dead, which is where we also see that when it zooms out of the kid being getting the lobotomy, we also see that it's Juniper Hill that's doing it, which is pretty crazy to think that that's the case. Because this place also held Henry Bowers, who I don't know if you remember, but that's the bully from the first and
No, it's
second It movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that clearly. Yep.
We also get to meet another Bowers later on, but we'll get to that.
Mm,
Also, it's appeared in a few other like Stephen King books as well, and it's usually been
mm,
shown to be like mismanaged. Also, like a place that does like a lot more harm than good. So
mm,
it'll be interesting to see more of it since we're well from what we know at the end of the episode, and we'll talk about it more as well. That
mm.
there's more to go with that. We see Niebel Street, the Niebel Street house, with a family outside of it, and we see its eyes through the window. Uh, you should remember this house because this is the house that is its like main like lair basically. Like
Yeah, yeah,
remember,
yeah, okay,
it's
yeah.
the burnt
Yep, yep.
house. Yeah,
Yep.
they mention it's burnt. So I'm curious to see if we might see the house get burnt because that'd be cool.
That
And
would be interesting.
yeah. Also, a teacher showing her class. Like it zooms out. It's like a teacher. You see the teacher, and you see like what the fire is. It turns into like a nuclear like bomb, and it looks
Mm-hmm.
like there's like this bomb that's being blasted behind the house. And while it's still zooming out, you also see like a balloon in front of like the house as well. And then it zooms out more, and you actually could see the turtle mascot appear on the right side of the teacher. and it zooms out more. You're seeing all these kids like scared and crying, and you see one of the kids looking at the person operating the projector, and you see Pennywise's gloved hand. So obviously it's Pennywise doing that. We also see the Bradley gang in a shootout, which is kind of crazy to see that we saw Pennywise shooting someone.
What a Tommy gun!
Yeah,
Oh, Tommy gun, bro. That's actually very funny.
it was out of nowhere, and I was just like, well, I'm curious to see if we're gonna see that in the second season, since the time that the Bradley gang shootout takes place is around when they've mentioned that the second season will take place. So we might see.
That would be cool. Imagine seeing a shootout and then you just see Pennywise.
We're just gonna see Pennywise come in and say, "Say hello to my little friend."
That would
Uh,
be funny.
we also see the Kitchener Ironworks place explode, and that takes place in 1933. So it zooms out even further. By the way, this whole thing has been zooming out entirely, which is really cool. I love like art that does that. So it zooms out more and more, and it zooms out to like this factory exploding, and there's this bunny in the air in flames, and there's like all this fire in the air, and there's people on fire, and it's these
Mm.
kids running and scared, and it takes place during Easter Sunday, and the third season is supposed to take place around this time as well. So we actually might see this like factory explode, which is kind of cool, and I hope that's the case.
Mm.
And that's like the whole intro. Then it zooms out more, and it says "Welcome to Derry."
Banger intro though. It definitely at nighttime it would give you those creepy vibes.
Yeah, that's when I
100%.
watched it, and that's when I think a lot of people watched it during Halloween because it came out during Halloween,
Uh,
which was a smart choice. I'm
that
not gonna
was,
lie to you.
yeah, was a smart choice. And it made for a banger episode that came out on Halloween.
Yeah, and then now we're back to after Lily has like those nightmares. We go to Ronnie's place where the police are pressuring Hank, who's her father, the theater projectionist. Uh, they're pressuring him
That was him.
because they think that he is the prime suspect to the kids' massacre. Which, by the way, this really shows to you how racist these cops are. You know.
Yeah, 100%.
We also see Ronnie struggling with the guilt and fear, like of her father being in danger, and we just see like her like struggling mentally with this whole thing, and like she's listening in to her grandmother and her dad talking about how he's probably going to be taken away and they got to do something, and she's just kind of freaking out, and it's like definitely making her more scared since I don't know if we mentioned this in the last episode, but they didn't really mention it or go at least too deep into it, but she doesn't have a mom, and and you find out that her mom died during childbirth. And you can see photos of Ronnie's mom, but it's only in her wedding dress, which also explains like a further like a scene later on with the mom as well. I mean, we can talk about that, I guess. What did you think of that scene?
Definitely, I'll tell you now. But if you're not to find that absolutely disgusting, or don't, I'll say don't watch it with your kids. Do not watch the show at all.
Yeah,
Do it, or if you plan on showing your kids, do not watch the show at all. They do not hold. This just further cements that they're not holding back on the gore scenes, and this specific scene itself, they did not hold back on anything, and it's probably. It might be even worse. It is definitely worse. I'll say, in my opinion, than the first episode. The scene in the first episode with the whole baby demon getting birthed by the mom in the car. I think this specific scene in episode 2 with Ronnie's mom was just beyond nasty, and it definitely gave me like some creepy vibes also because again we all watched this at night, so it just definitely gave me like the creepy ass vibes.
yeah. I thought that this scene was definitely the worst scene in the episode because also I mean it does play like they did a really good job with playing into something that people feel secure about, which is I mean everyone's heard of the stories of like going under the blanket to like it'll protect you from whatever is like out there.
Mhm. It wasn't the
And
case.
yeah, nope, that definitely wasn't the case. She goes under the blanket and she gets trapped under the blanket and she almost drowns. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like future generations that watch this won't do that anymore. If they watch this, they're like,
100%.
oh no. But Yeah, no, that
That
scene's
seems so
messed up.
nasty.
And then she has to literally rip out of the skin, and she pops out of her mom's stomach. And we see the mom. Also, we get this really cool transition of her mom's arms from the like the bedroom railings to like actually like physically appearing. I thought that was a really sick scene. And then the mom, like, she has the, oh my gosh, she has the cord, you know, and like
Yeah,
the it's pulling her in. And I thought this actually did freak me out a little bit, was seeing Ronnie trying to like run, but she's so like she's covered with these liquids that she literally can't even get up. So you see her like trying to like crawl, and she, like, the actress is actually giving her all, like trying to get up, and she literally can't because of the liquids, and she's just getting pulled in, and these teeth appear. And then we finally get our first glimpse at Pennywise in this season of like the show. We get to see
he's
his
definitely
yellow
a pop up.
eyes. You know? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
thought the yellow eyes are like it was so sick to see, and I'm like, oh my god, it was awesome. It was a great like first like little tease of Pennywise. And I mean, yeah, we see her literally bite through the thing. Like, that's insane. Her like having to chew the cord just so that she could like escape, that was crazy. Oh my god.
100%.
Yeah, I
I just
know.
found see nasty. I don't know. They do not hold back on it. I will say. I just think gee, they really don't hold back on it. They're it's basically saying that from here on out, like everything is going to be like specific things going to be really gory, and I'm kind of really hoping that Pennywise, does pop up soon because they're kind of been giving hits on it.
Yeah.
So who knows? We might see him in episode 3, but like you said, like you just said, the actors are actually doing pretty good, and obviously Ronnie did amazing in that scene, and it was just a very nasty scene, including that she had to bite through the umbilical cord, but it yeah, that's what I say. So it just gave me some chills. I watched it like at 11 o'clock at
Oh
night,
yeah.
so imagine that. And then also like her mom like running towards her and like
Oh,
all
that
this
scene
other
was
stuff, and
freaky. Yeah.
100% like that. That thing was the creepiest. But it's just basically saying they're not gonna hold back from here on out. So if you don't like gore, do not watch the show.
Yep. Also, Ronnie's mom is wearing a wedding dress, which, I mean, it does tie into the whole like her only like you only see pictures of her in the wedding dress. So
Mhm.
it actually, that was a really cool connection to see, because it's like, oh yeah, obviously that's the only way she can picture her mom is in that dress, because that's the only way she ever saw her mom. And
Mhm.
honestly, I think Ronnie was gonna die here if her dad didn't come in that time. You know,
Yeah, oh, yeah, 100%.
like if her dad didn't come on the right time to help save her, she would have died right there. Like, she was about to like munch on Ronnie, and then you hear the door open, and then you see the liquids gone and everything, and I'm like, oh, that poor child. She looking crazy.
She's looking crazy.
Yep. And then after this scene, we also get to meet the rest of the Hanlons. We see Will and Charlotte. That's Will Hanlon is Mike Hanlon's dad in and Mike Hanlon's from the first two movies. He's part of the Losers Club, and Will Hanlon as well. I mean, this is kind of a spoiler if but we're already talking about spoilers. But this is a spoiler if you don't remember this, I guess. Will Hanlon's dad dies in a horrible fire where they mention how he was like scratching at the doors to be released with all these other like black people, and they all burned to death. So, I mean, we know Will is going to be okay for this season, but we 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 know his fate, which
Ultimately, yeah.
yeah, which kind of sucks to know, because I'm not gonna lie to you, they do a really good job making you like him, and by the end of this episode, I was like, why did you make me like this guy? I'm gonna
I'll say you
watch.
do.
I'm gonna watch like It Chapter 1, and we're just gonna see like I'm just gonna see him like hearing like the scene where like he sees all those people like burning and like scratching at the door
Yeah.
with the fire. I'm literally gonna watch that scene. I'm just gonna start crying, like this was supposed
Yeah,
to
it's
be a nothing
crazy.
scene.
That's crazy. Just think about that. That right now we got introduced with an amazing character in Will, and ultimately he's gonna have his fate. Ultimately, fate's gonna come get him. He's gonna die in the movie. So
Yep.
that's now if you were to watch the movie, so I'd
Yeah.
be thinking about that.
Yeah, you already know what's gonna happen to him. And what we're gonna say about like what does it do a great job with?
Oh, introducing the shows have done so far. Has done, like I said in the beginning, have done a great job introducing the specific new characters.
Oh
Will
yeah.
is one of them. I think Will is like is very much the nerdy type, but that's what makes him so great. And I think he's gonna be an amazing character throughout the come. And we kind of know that he dies in the future, but in the show we've seen so far that anything can happen with the new characters dying. I mean, with the characters that were introduced into the first episode, and they end up ultimately coming to an end. So hopefully nothing happens to Will. I've actually been enjoying him,
Yeah.
so
And
we'll
I mean
see.
we he kind of ties into Mike just based on how he acts and everything.
No,
You
he
know.
really does, yeah.
Yeah. They have very similar interests, and I think that that actually is a cool like nod to his character. We also get to see Charlotte kind of like move walking around Derry, which was kind of just basically seeing the perspective of a regular person going into Derry. And that was pretty messed up, man. That was pretty crazy. We got to see like we got to meet Stanley Kirsch, and he calls apparently he says the kids call him Stanley Cleaver. Um, and Stanley Kirsch is most likely going to be related to Miss Kirsch from It Chapter 2, if you remember. In It Chapter 2, she is the lady that chases Beverly in her house, like the old lady. You remember that?
Hmm. Yeah.
So it just may be Kirsch. That's felt
Hmm.
like a weird sentence to say. Pennywise just may be Kirsch. Because also fun fact for anyone that's read the books and well anyone that hasn't, Kirsch isn't in the books. Kirsch isn't a character that exists like at all in the books. But the only thing we know is that Pennywise took the form of Miss Kirsch. So it's kind of making me wonder: is Kirsch even a real person, or is it just a form that Pennywise takes? You know.
Yeah. Well, could be, yeah.
Then after that, we while she's talking in the place, she looks out the door, like the window, and she sees these boys beating the living hell out of this kid. And then she asks, "Why isn't anyone doing anything?" And Stanley replies with, "Well, boys will be boys."
Quote unquote.
Yep, that is a crazy statement to say, especially to something so messed up that's happening. And you just see
Very
people
violent.
walking by, like just walking by while this kid's like literally getting like beaten to like just beaten up so badly. And like these people are just walking by, there's cars driving by, no one's doing anything, no one cares. Which is so wild just to like picture that, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's very crazy. Yeah, they all found it normal too, and it wasn't like there's barely anyone there to see it happen. But no, it was like a group of crowds, or a group of crowd of people walking by. Numerous cars walking by. Obviously you have Stanley, the store owner, stuff like that. So everyone was crazy even to see about it. Also, is that the boys Loki did not back off after what, Charlotte, right? Her name?
Yeah, Charlotte
Sure.
intervenes and like they look at her like she's crazy and everyone else does too. They're
Yeah,
like, "What are you doing? This is like a
yeah.
regular thing." Which is
And the boys,
just wild.
and look, the boys look like they're gonna beat her up too. Like they look like if it wasn't for, I honestly think if it wasn't for the kid running away, like I honestly think they would have like punched at her or something like that. Because the way the look, the specific look they gave to her, they looked like they weren't gonna back down.
Oh yeah, it looked pretty like it was pretty messed up. It was crazy to see that, and this really just shows you like how people in Derry just totally ignore the evil that goes on in their town, which is just
Mhm.
wild to see that. And like uh obviously the Hanlons aren't really affected at this point because they've barely moved into
Yeah.
Derry, so they haven't had time to live in it and be affected by the people, you know, or
Mhm.
I guess be affected by the entity that we know as Pennywise. So it's
Yeah.
it's cool to see that, like their perspective on it. And then we also get to see more of Dick Halloran, and they're also hinting at his ability of The Shining, of course. We get to see more of him, like walking around and drink. Like we got to see him hanging out with his buddies, drinking. Also, we meet Chief Bowers for the first time, and Chief Bowers, the name Bowers, he's related to Henry Bowers, who is the bully, and so obviously he is the father of, well, he's the grandfather of the bully. But also, what was like very like interesting to see, was that we see him drinking at a gay bar. You know, did you notice that?
No, I didn't know this was a gay bar. I honestly thought like it was just a regular bar for what it seems like. I really didn't pay too closely attention to the backgrounds, but like for me, it just seemed like the way everyone's drinking and stuff like that. I just thought it was like a normal bar. There was a certain scene with the group of military people. Just all sitting down. Just drinking, having a good time, and then it goes around to the bar, and everyone's still having a good time drinking. Like nothing that would give off as a gay bar, but it's a good observation from you, and I also didn't know that. So
Yeah, there's a few nods to it showing that it's a gay bar. Obviously, the fact that I'm like 99% sure we don't see any women in there. Then you also get to see that there's this. I wish I kept the name, and I wish I actually wrote it down, but I forgot to write it down. But like, there's this picture of this actress who is very well beloved in the LGBTQ like community. So there's hints to that, and then obviously the biggest hint being that blacks weren't allowed to drink at white bars for the most part, and the only way they were really allowed in bars was back then at least was when they had to look for, like, gay bars would allow them to actually drink in there because they obviously dealt with discrimination. So uh, they connected with that way, so they allowed them to drink at those type of bars. So you see Dick Halloran just drinking at this bar, and obviously also you see these people get mad at the bartender for allowing these black guys to be in the bar, and they actually end up getting kicked out. Luckily though, Dick already had enough drinks with his buddies, and they walk back to the military place where you really get to see how he gets special privileges by being allowed to drink outside of the military base.
yeah,
And then we also get to see more of Margie, who was in the first episode. I don't think we really mentioned her though, but she's Lily's friend, and we get to see her issues. Which I'm not gonna lie, I felt partially bad for her, but I also didn't at the same time because, on the one hand, I felt bad that she was being bullied by Patty, who is like the number one girl in the group. Um, like, she seems to dislike Margie anytime that she makes the group laugh a little too hard. She just brings Margie down. But at the same time, Margie's just trying to stay in the cool group, and she's not really being a good friend to Lily, especially with all like the events that have been going on.
yeah, 100%. I think you explained it really well. I think Margie is just trying to really just she's more of a follower, not a leader. She's just the cool kid group, and stuff like that. And I mean Patty is just obviously you could tell like right off the bat she's the group leader. Whatever she says goes. Like you said, at certain moments, Margie kind of makes the whole laugh and has like then Patty gets mad at something and everyone starts attacking Margie. So
Yeah,
in one point it makes you feel bad, but the other point it kind of like she kind of deserves it the way she's been treating like Lily. Like by if you really think about it, like Lily's only true friend that she has, and she's been like really much of an asshole to Lily, and it's kind of deserved for the stuff that's happening, but at the same time it does make you feel bad for Margie. So yeah.
yeah. They really like make you feel mixed about Margie. I know there's been a decent amount of hate towards Margie though, just because people don't like her, with her choices. We also get to see Ronnie lose like her shit towards Lily because Ronnie is getting angry that Lily isn't telling the truth. Lily has is of course scared to tell the truth because of numerous reasons. One being that I don't know, it sounds crazy that to say, "Hey, a flying mutant baby that was bigger than me flew around the studio and just tore up a bunch of kids." I don't know why she wants her to say that like exactly. I don't know. I feel like it's a little odd. I understand they're children, but still. Also, you get to see Lily. You get to find out more about Lily, like her whole mental health like being from like Juniper Hill. So she doesn't want to go back there because she doesn't want to sound crazy. So she just said that she doesn't know what she saw, but she knows that she didn't see her dad there, and the police are continuing like to try to get her to say that. And Ronnie's kind of getting mad because she knows at some point they're gonna get her and they're gonna get her dad, and then she's gonna be all alone. And Lily doesn't want that, and Lily has like they have a whole scene, and Ronnie gets in trouble for yelling the word bullshit, and she gets detention. Also, while we see that scene happening, we see Margie, Margie and the group walking outside, where we get to see that Will is eating lunch outside in the by the lockers because he's got no friends, and this is where we meet a kid named Rich, who was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie to you, I liked him. What'd you think of him?
So, um, I think I think honestly, he could probably be the best character for what it seems like in the group. I think he's for what it seems like already for the first like few scenes that he had. I think he's gonna be hilarious. I think he's kind-hearted also from the way he's treating Will like as a friend, and it seems like they're gonna be. I think they're gonna have a tight bond, kind of how like Ted and Phil had. You know, but I don't know.
R.I.P.
I think RIP to that dynamic duo. But I think there's gonna be a new dynamic duo. I think they're gonna be really good. I can't wait to see more from them. I think Rich is probably gonna be my favorite character in the show. But who knows? We're still Will there, and Will has been amazing also. But I just think it's cool to see Rich be the way he is, and also that like for it seems like the second Hispanic character we've seen. Obviously we got to meet Rosso in the beginning, but
Yeah,
he for it seems like he got cut out or he hasn't really been in the show. So I can't wait to see Rich throughout the whole show. So like I'm saying it now that he's gonna be my favorite dynamic duo, him and Will.
I think
Trust.
Rich has potential. I feel like we haven't seen enough for me to say that he's gonna be my favorite, but he did have a funny scene where he's checking out Margie while she's walking outside, and I thought that was pretty good. And then we get to see this kid just pop out of the bathroom, and Rich just looks at the kid and he's like, "You should run," and then runs away. Will is like, "What?" And then this kid just throws a freaking like grenade like into the hallway, and it just shoots out a bunch of smoke, and I'm like, what the heck is happening here? Is this gonna be like a dream sequence? And he's running. I'm like, oh no, it's not a dream sequence. He hits his teacher, and then he gets detention as well. And I mean, what did you think when you saw that scene? I thought that was wild.
That was a random scene. It was a cool scene though. I'm not gonna lie, but it was definitely very random. Just for the scene that was already happening prior, that staring at Margie, and then him walking out of nowhere. You just see out of like not even like it blurry as heck, by the way, in the background. You see a kid run out. At first I thought he was gonna throw like a firework or something, but then he threw it. Rich told him to just run, and it out of nowhere, just like I thought it was a smoke grenade, but then ended up being a gas grenade, and it's crazy to see that out of school too. And it seems like it was pretty
It was
normal,
supposed to be like a
or
stink
like
bomb.
yeah. And it seems like it's like certain stuff has happened like that prior, because it seems like like when Rich said it, it just seemed like it was very normal, like
It seemed
freak
like it
out and
happened to
this
him
and that.
before, you know.
Yeah, it just seemed very normal. So then obviously Will tried running away, and teacher, and the teacher ended up blaming him and attention.
Yeah,
But that it cut to a very I think in my opinion a very good scene with him and Ronnie meet,
Yeah,
and how
yeah, yeah, Ronnie and Will finally get to meet, and that was a great scene to see them having like a good connection. Will's obviously more of a nerd, and Ronnie's not, so we get to see Ronnie kind of poke fun at Will for smelling bad, and also for reading a book just for fun that had to deal with like science. But even though Will had like a really cheesy scene, I actually thought it was really cute just because I thought like, aw, that's like such a kid mentality there that was adorable. When I forgot exactly what it was like that he said, but he was talking about all the components that make up like the stink bomb, and he's like, you can say I'm covered with like this stink bomb, or you could say I'm covered with like this stardust, and he's like smiling all goofy. And Ronnie looked like she was into that, and it looked like she was pretty happy to see how like bright he is with his knowledge and also just his like good view on things. So it was a cute scene, and I'm honestly like hoping to see more with Ronnie and Will. Only thing though is that obviously we know Ronnie and Will don't end up together, and I feel like we're probably gonna see more with them, and it'll be sad to see Ronnie go, because I'm pretty sure that's where it's gonna head. Uh, then
see that.
we also see Leroy, more of Leroy Hanlon. We get to see him test the racist guy to see if he was the one that pulled the gun on him in the last episode, and we find out that he wasn't, but he falsely claimed that it was him that did it. And he finds out by doing like this whole elaborate thing where he pulls out the gun, and he said that the gun, like this specific gun, is really hard to reload, and he looked at his profile and saw that he couldn't reload that fast with guns. So he angered him enough to steal the gun from him and try to reload the gun, and he obviously couldn't reload it. So he took the gun and he's like, I knew it wasn't you. And that was such a like a bad A scene just to see him do. But I thought it was even better when he goes to like Shaw, and he basically confronts him by saying, "I know it was," like he basically knew it was him without telling him, and Shaw just General Shaw just straight up opens up with saying, "I'm the one that did it, but before you report me, because I know you're loyal like that, I want to explain as to why I did this," and he basically breaks down what made the whole military storyline so much more interesting, which is they're basically hunting Pennywise without them knowing. They know of this thing that is causing, like this entity slash weapon. That they know that there's like something that's causing like a more fear in this town, and like that fear can be used as a weapon. So what they want is to recover whatever it is and use it against use it as like a weapon for their armies. And the whole like test that he pulled on Leroy was to show that he has a unique resistance to fear, which makes him valuable, obviously, to this whole thing. So we get to see him join General Shaw, and we're obviously going to see more of Leroy working with Dick Halloran. And then, obviously, also later on, we see them digging this place, and we see them like uncover this vehicle, which was just full of skeletons, and that was kind of like where that episode ended. And that was a really cool scene to see as well. I jumped over a bit of the Lily scene. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess we'll go right back to that right now. What'd you think of the whole Lily scene?
I think I don't know because on one hand it's like it's understandable like that she really couldn't say the truth because then again if she would have said the truth they would have thought she was crazy again and she would have got sent back to
Juniper Hill.
the yeah Juniper Hill. But it's kind of like messed up that she ratted out and really like lied and then lied and obviously she ended up paying the consequences because she ended up well not her but Ronnie's dad ended up paying the consequences and ended up getting arrested and what it seems like it seems like they're gonna pin like all the murders on him. So
Yeah, Hank.
that would be for yeah, that would be for murder charges that he would get. So and obviously with the cops being racist and stuff like that,
Yeah, it's not good for him.
anytime soon. Yeah. So I kind of I really like I understand like why Lily didn't really say the truth, but
Oh,
I
really
think to
quickly
like
to clarify,
mm,
the scene is that Lily gets brought in back by Chief Bowers, and Chief Bowers basically blackmails her into saying uh, that it was Hank. Not really though.
mm,
The way he says it is, I'm not gonna say I'm not. I'm just gonna lay this out here. We have no suspects. You're the only one that was there. That's a little odd. So it's either that people may think it's you, or you could help me out with this and have it be that like are you, and then the way he words it was he's like, I'm not going to ask you the same question, but I'm going to ask you this. Can you say without a doubt in your mind that you're 100% sure that Hank was not at the theater that day? And that's how it ends there. And then obviously it goes to Hank getting taken by the cops, and the cops take him away, and Ronnie's all mad, and then they have that whole scene with Ronnie, you know?
yeah. Go back to what I was saying. Yeah. I might explained it well. Everything just ended up kind of not going well for Lily, and she ultimately kind of like I guess not necessarily she had to, but she ended up writing out Ronnie's dad, or like lying that saying Ronnie's dad was there when he really wasn't, and paying the consequences from it. So I'm assuming we might see him like here and there in scenes, but I don't think we're gonna see him like really anytime soon. And for Ronnie, Ronnie was obviously ultimately upset, and she ended up running all the way to Lily's house, banging on the door, and like telling Lily why she do it, and why she had to do it, like why she lied, why did she tell the truth, and we also got a quick scene of Lily's mother. And also, what did you think of that? I found her creepy as hell when she opened that door.
She was really cold. I thought she was a really like creepy mom. I thought she was gonna. I don't know why in my head that I thought she was gonna be a sweet person, but obviously, just the town itself isn't. So I probably should have just assumed she wasn't. But yeah, no, she was creepy as hell, and she also was very cold. She just had nothing, like no feeling. She felt very like unmotherly. She didn't feel like she cared for her child as much as she should have. So like she just closes the door straight up and doesn't even like acknowledge her. Ronnie loses it and like runs away. And then we see Lily being sent to like the groceries later, like on another day, by her mom. Which also, I mean, I guess it's more common for like back then, but still, it's pretty messed up knowing that your kid has mental issues to just send them to the grocery store alone. But yeah, no, she goes into the grocery store, and I mean, there's that whole creepy scene where she's being chased by everyone. That played into a fear of mine personally, like feeling like people are just watching you, without like knowing. I've had like
Oh,
that type of feeling,
100%.
and yeah, no, that whole scene, she's just being like she's walking around, and it gets more and more obvious as it goes on, because you see like little people, like literally like the first scene, someone's looking at her, and it's not creepy though, but someone is looking at her, and every scene after that, someone's looking at her still, and they do it, and they just get more creepy with like neck turns, or literally someone's just breathing behind her neck, which was so weird. And like she's like trying to notice it, but they just keep running away without her like seeing. And the place is also getting closed off. And then we see these cereal boxes, or like these foods where like we see Phil, Teddy, and Susie like in these boxes. And I thought this was a little weird that we didn't see Phil's, because we see Susie and Teddy, we see their faces like start to decay, but we didn't see Phil's decay. I thought that was very odd. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I kind of noticed it, but I really didn't put too much thought to it. But like when you're talking about it now, like yeah, it's true. Like everyone that had like a face um on that cereal box and stuff like that, like every single one of their faces started decaying. Like
Yeah, out of the three,
Addie's decayed.
only two of them did, which was a little
Yeah,
odd,
like
and it
Maddie's
was
decayed.
noticeable.
Yeah, it was everything right. So, Ted's decayed, Maddie's decayed, the Susan's decayed. I think so, right?
Yeah, Susie's decayed. Susie's was the first one to decay. Then we see Phil and Teddy's, like they're like together, and then we see Teddy's face decaying, but we don't see Phil's. So I don't know if that's playing
Yeah,
into anything or if we're just like overthinking it, but I did think that was something noticeable to point out. Um,
there might be a slight chance he's alive. He's in a coma.
let's hope. That'd
Let's
actually be
hope. Let's
pretty
hope
messed
and
up.
pray. That would imagine
He
going through
suffers
all
more.
that. He suffers more, and imagine going through all that, and he wakes up in a coma just to get like brutally like attacked again by Pennywise.
Yep, that's no fate that's deserved, especially by
I
Phil.
think I'll write it. I think at that point, I think just take me off of life support. I ain't gonna lie. I think if I knew I had to wake up and deal with Pennywise, I think I was just end it all right there.
Yeah. Yeah, then obviously we see Lily being attacked by a vision of her father, where we find out her father's like died at like a pickle factory. So we see like her dad like head in a like this pickle jar and talking to her, breaks out and starts to like crawl towards her. She's completely surrounded by the aisles, and now she can't get out, and she's freaking out. And then, of course, she gets pulled out by like the people that are surrounding her, asking her, "Is she okay?" Because there's a pickle jar on the floor that's broken. I think this kind of further cements the whole theory of the turtle, the little turtle charm saving her. And
Yeah.
then we see her get taken to Juniper Hill, which is so sad to see because obviously from the intro it doesn't seem like going to be any good, especially for her.
100%. Everyone was creepy there too. The people that went to go open the door for her were creepy.
Oh yeah, it was really creepy. And that was the episode, so the episode was solid. I really liked it, and
Yeah, I honestly had no complaints.
I guess
I think it
let's.
was
Oh, what did you think?
perfect episode. Oh, yeah, my fault. I was gonna say I think it's a perfect episode. Well, not perfect episode, but I think it's a banger episode, and I think I said there was no complaints into it. I like the characters that was introduced. Or assuming that Rich and Will and possibly Margie are gonna be part of
The
loser
Losers Club.
loser
Yeah,
yeah loser cup.
let's just
They're gonna be the
focus on
new
us later.
trio. Hopefully, I would prefer Phil Ted. I think Rich and Willie are gonna be also another dynamic
Willie.
and virtual part. I said Willie.
I think you said Willie.
I think I said Ted. If I might say Willie on accident. I
Oh,
meant to say Phil if I did, but I think Rich and Will would are gonna be a dynamic duo to watch, and I think Rich is my character.
yeah. And then I guess let's get into the Scream trailer. What did you think of the Scream trailer?
I think it's gonna be a banger movie. I am granted. I haven't seen much of prior. I've seen the prior Scream movies, but I do have to. I don't remember
I don't
a
think you
lot
saw
of
the
it, so I'm
last
gonna
two ones
rewatch
though,
them.
right?
I don't think so. I don't remember. I gotta. If I did it, I
I think
forgot
you've. I
everything, so I
think
gotta
from
rewatch.
what you I remember you telling me, you've only seen the first two, or at least one and four. I think it was either one of those like sort of orders, but
Yeah,
you haven't seen the new ones, which I will say we're definitely gonna. I'm definitely gonna try to
I
rewatch
have to
those with
watch.
you. Yeah, I love the
100%.
Scream franchise. It's my favorite horror franchise. So I'm very
I,
excited for this new one. Obviously, the big talk about this one is that well, there's a few big talks about this one. One being that the twin, like the twins are returning, but the two sisters aren't. You really don't understand what's going on with that, but I'll explain it further when we review each movie when he watches them.
mm,
But yeah, no, there's a sister, like these two sisters were introduced in the last few Scream movies and they became fan favorites, but sadly there was some controversies that happened with one of them, and then the other one just ended up quitting because Jenna Ortega is the actress. She said that she was busy and she couldn't do it, and she was doing Wednesday, so she also dropped. So they had to bring back Sydney, and the cool part about this one is Matthew Lillard is returning as Stu again, and I am very excited to see what that means because the big theories, at least in this trailer, They make it seem like he may have returned, but there's
Mhm.
also people theorizing that it's just AI. I'm curious to see which one it'll be, but I'm very much looking forward to this movie, and we'll break the trailer down more next week, and we'll also talk more about Scream in general. But yeah, first thoughts. I'm very excited, and we'll definitely be looking forward to it. Um.
100%. Hold on, wait. I gotta say something though.
Oh,
Anyone to any movie that has Matthew Lillard in it, I'm saying now is gonna be a banger movie. I don't, in my opinion, I don't think it's a bad movie. I love him as an actor and a voice actor. If you do not know who he is the voice actor for
for Shaggy.
Shaggy,
Yeah.
and he has appeared in FNAF and appeared in a bunch of.
Yep. And he
If
always
you see
comes
Matthew
back.
Lillard, he always comes back in. If you see Matthew Lillard, a part of the movie that you're gonna watch, just know that it's gonna be a decent movie or it's gonna be a banger movie. So I love him as an actor. I think he's an amazing actor, and obviously we're gonna see him in the Scream movie. And I saw him in the first Scream movie.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites in that first Scream movie. I thought his character portrayal. He's just so great. I love Billy and Stu. They're so great. I rewatch that movie every year. I've rewatched that movie so many times. I love that movie. Um, yeah, I'm such a fan. But oh, and then I was gonna mention my thoughts on Black Phone 2. This is a non-spoiler review. We'll do the spoiler review on our next week podcast. Just because Christian hasn't seen it yet, and he plans to see it, at least the first one. And I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on Black Phone 2. I'll be honest, I know a lot of people have been praising this movie. I'm not one of them. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. I went into this movie with very, very good expectations, because I'm not even lying. I saw the first movie like 2 hours or 3 hours before I watched the second one. I was watching it like on my laptop, relaxing, and then right after that, it was only a few hours later, and we went to go to the theaters to watch part two, and um, I was disappointed. I was really hoping there was things they did in that movie that I wasn't happy with, but I will say, if you are very casual about it, like if you don't compare it to the first one, it's a good movie. It's a good horror movie, because I have a lower expectation for horror movies. Just because usually they story wise they're not as good, and to me that's kind of what the second one was. Story wise, it wasn't as strong as the first one, but the first one was really good. So comparing it, it's hard to compare. But the second one is still a good movie, and I want to clarify, the acting is amazing. That is probably the best part of the movie. The acting is so great. The music is great. The cinematography is actually pretty good. Nothing crazy, nothing bad. It's pretty good, but no, the acting is definitely what carried the movie for me. And also, my theater kind of ruined a few scenes with in terms of the acting, just because they were so loud, and that type of audience can just like hurt your thoughts on a movie. But yeah, no, it I didn't like it bothered me during those scenes, and then yeah, it was just choices that they did in the movie. But I mean, just basing it off of the trailers from what they show, I'm talking about things that they show in the trailers. It gives you like a Nightmare on Elm Street feeling, and you do get like a good like grasp of that. It's not anything like the later movies, but I would say it's more so like the first one. So if you enjoyed that movie, you'll still have a good time watching this. I had a pretty good time watching this. I just don't think it was as good as the first movie, and for me personally, just because the first movie had such great expectations, it kept those expectations for me for the second movie. So I'm gonna have to give it like a 6 out of 10, personally. But if you like the movie, I
Yeah,
mean, it's personal preference, and I wouldn't argue against it as badly. I'll go into it more deeply as to why I didn't like it in next week's episode when we talk about it for like the spoiler review. But yeah, that was my thoughts on that. And uh, you want to go to the horror bracket now?
yep. Might as well. Might as well get to it.
All right. Uh, which is the best horror movie? We're gonna be going through this bracket that I found. All right. The first one is Paranormal Activity versus Poltergeist. I have seen both of these.
I have not seen Poltergeist, but I have seen Paranormal Activity. I do think they have 3 or 4 movies, and I've actually enjoyed pretty much all of them. But really no complaints. So I think I'm gonna have to go Paranormal Activities for this one.
See, for me, I wasn't like the biggest fan of of Paranormal Activity. I didn't. I like the story wise, it was good. I've only seen the first one. By the way, we're only talking about the movies that are on here, so it's the first movie.
Mm.
The first movie, it was all right. I didn't think it was anything crazy. I feel like people over exaggerate when they say it's like scary. I didn't feel it was scary at all, personally.
Mm.
But I didn't really care too much for Poltergeist. It was just kind of there for me.
Mm.
So actually, I'm okay with putting Paranormal Activity above that.
I bet that.
Yeah. So Paranormal Activity can go through. Child's Play or Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, I feel like
Has to be
Halloween's
Halloween.
pretty obvious. It's the most iconic horror movie. Well, one of the most iconic horror movies. The theme alone
Mm.
and Michael
Yeah.
Myers. Yeah, it's hard to.
It's not to say that Chucky's a bad movie. I just think
Yeah,
superior.
it's just better. I rewatch Halloween multiple times throughout the year, so I love that movie. Jaws or The Exorcist.
Exorcist has to be.
I'm going with Exorcist because I haven't seen Jaws, and I was okay with going with Jaws if you were passionate about it. But Exorcist is such a phenomenal movie, and
Yeah.
for me, the score I prefer the score for Exorcist. Not to say that the Jaws score isn't bad, but the Exorcist one I like to listen to. It's really good.
Yeah, I think with Jaws, I think I've seen the first movie of Jaws, but obviously Jaws has one of the most iconic
Oh yeah,
theme
like
songs or
scores.
themes too.
Da da
Yeah.
da da. Yeah, that one's
Da-da-da.
great. But The Exorcist has one of my more favorites because it's got more to it.
Mm.
The Conjuring or The Ring. You know what my stance is on this.
Yeah, you know what my stance are on this. I have to go to Conjuring, bro. Conjuring, Conjuring, the first movie is a banger, bro.
I like the Ring, but you know what? I will actually be nice for this one. I will concede. I'm okay with putting
Yeah,
The Conjuring above, but I will say
I love
that
the ring.
I'm just not the biggest fan of The Conjuring. But I don't. But also, to be fair, I don't think that The Ring is better than The Conjuring. That'd be a bit of a crazy take. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of The Conjuring, I can still acknowledge that The Conjuring's good. So, story
Yeah.
wise, I still prefer The Conjuring.
Oh yeah, it's not to say that the ring was bad. It's just
Yeah,
just Conjuring is just better.
yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Candyman. I love both of these movies, but I know one
I
is
love both
better.
these movies too, and we have to ultimately go with Texas Chainsaw.
Yep.
Even their game's a banger.
I feel bad that Candyman's already out, but like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just iconic. And since we're only talking about the first movie, because I mean, thank God, um, the first like that movie is one of my favorite horror movies. It's so good. It
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
And
phenomenal.
their game.
Oh
And
yeah,
their
and their
game's a
game.
banger.
We love their game. We got a little bad at it towards the end though. But that's a
That's
different
because they got
story.
sweaty, bro. Also, everything changed.
Yep. The Shining or It. I love both a
We
lot.
know. I haven't seen The Shining, so I have to go with it. But I think it is just I think better probably in my opinion.
Yeah, we're talking about chapter one too. We're not talking about like the miniseries or
Oh, 100% no. It has to be. I
chapter.
haven't seen The Shining. So
I
can't say really too much on
love The
there.
Shining, but I'm not gonna lie to you. It chapter one is still something I prefer to watch. I love that movie. It's so good.
Yeah, I love it too.
Um, Scream or Friday the 13th? My answer is very obvious here. It's obviously Friday the 13th. No.
Obviously, obviously.
No, what's your favorite scary movie? I mean, come on. That line. Iconic.
100%.
Yeah, no. Scream's going through. That one's easy for me, and I
Yeah.
feel like it might
So
be easy for you.
we both agree on screen. Yeah, there's really no complaints to it.
Yeah. Saw or A Nightmare on Elm Street? My answer is obvious, but I love both movies.
I love both of them too. I've seen the first Saw movie. I think it's a banger, but I think on a whole nother level.
I haven't seen all the Saw movies. I've seen up to 3, I believe. But
I've seen most of them.
I've seen all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and Nightmare is better for me. I love Nightmare. It's my second favorite horror movie. It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Nightmare. It's just Nightmare. Just a banger.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street is just so good. It's so great. The music, the the Freddy Krueger lines, the "This is God." That line, I love that line. It's so good. All right. So we got the first wave done. Let's go into the second round. I don't know why I called it a wave, but let's just hopefully ignore that. Um, Paranormal Activity or Halloween. I feel like
That one's
those.
easy.
Yeah,
That's Paranormal Activity is what we're talking about here.
that'd be crazy.
No, Halloween, Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween. The Exorcist or The Conjuring.
Conjuring. We obviously know what it is. The Conjuring, bro.
What?
Yeah, you know it is The Conjuring, bro.
It ain't
It
The
is.
Conjuring.
It is The
The
Conjuring, and I'll
Exorcist is
do.
one of the most phenomenally well done movies of all time.
And the same thing with The Conjuring. It's also one of the best movies of all time,
Uh,
also in horror. And horror, regardless of your opinion, yeah, it's just a fact.
I'm okay. So we're flipping for it.
We have to, bro. Or,
Okay,
well, unless you just have to agree with me.
I ain't agreeing with that. I much
I
prefer The
agree with
Exorcist. What are you going for? Heads or tails?
heads.
Okay.
Heads.
It's flipping. It's flipping. And it got tails. Let's go.
You're fucking lying. I'm sorry for my language. You're lying.
Thank God. Okay.
Oh my god.
This list feels better. Um,
No, it doesn't.
well, this
You're
bracket feels
missing.
better.
You're missing one of the most iconic movies of all time.
We would have dropped The Exorcist, which would have been one of the most iconic horror movies of all time as well.
Nor would not have not.
It is. It literally is.
It's not better than Conjuring, and you know that.
For me, it is. All right.
For there's millions of people that think no.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre or It. That's hard. You know.
To say I can't. I love both the first movies of them, but I think it is just better by slightly. I think it's just. I don't know. I just found it a better movie in my opinion. I love Texas.
I'm just gonna go with the acting, and I mean, yeah, the acting's better in It. It's so good.
100%.
Like, even though I feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre definitely hits the more like scary tone for you, just because it's like, imagine like being alone in this area and now you have no help or anything. And I mean that scene with Leatherface spinning the chainsaw around is so iconic. But we're talking about Pennywise here, and I mean Bill Skarsgård's performance as Pennywise is one of the best performances in horror. So yeah,
100%.
I'm going with it. Scream or Nightmare on Elm Street. This one hurts. It's an obvious
It does
answer for
because
me,
they're
but it
both.
hurts.
They're both phenomenal movies, but I think Scream. I think it's just,
Yeah.
in my opinion, also has Matthew Lillard in it, so you cannot go against Matthew
Oh boy, my mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me.
Lillard.
Scream goes further. All right. Now this is a toughie. Scream or Exorcist.
Should have been The Conjuring, but
Get over it. The coin flip
no,
went
no,
with me.
I'm not getting over that. Never will. It's wait, what was it? Sorry, next.
A Halloween or Exorcist.
Wait, it wasn't Scream?
No, Scream already went against Nightmare.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Halloween. And wait, what was it? Halloween and what?
Exorcist.
Oh, Halloween.
I'm going with
Halloween. Yeah, Halloween. Yeah, it has to be Halloween. Yeah, Halloween.
It or Scream, you know my take.
Oh, dude, it is so good, bro. Oh my
One's only
god,
got
it's
Matthew
so-
Lillard.
I know, but I want to go it so bad,
zoinks,
bro.
dude?
No, that Scooby Doo thing is not. It might convince to Scooby Doo. Shaggy.
Yep. Sorry for the audio bit. It gets a little bad sometimes, but it's we're still working on it and we're doing a little better. It hasn't been that bad though for this episode.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I love it so much. Ah, my god. Okay, fine. I'm gonna have to ultimately choose.
Everyone goes a little mad sometimes.
Oh my god. Fine, I'll choose Scream just because
Let's
of Matthew Lillard.
go. Okay, yeah,
Just because of Matthew
yeah.
Lillard.
Scream's my favorite. All right, and then Halloween or Scream. You know my answer.
Dude, I love Halloween also. These are hard choices. But... okay, just because Matthew Lillard, but
Yeah.
I Scream.
Yeah, I don't want to say any more quotes because the next quote that came to my head was the I always had a thing for you, Sid, but that really wouldn't make sense here, so
Yeah.
instead I'm just going to go
Dude, it
with
should have been a Conjuring.
that everyone's a suspect. Doesn't make sense either.
Should have been a Conjuring.
Nah, Scream. Scream's the best.
Should have been a Conjuring. Should have been a
Which
Conjuring.
is the
Or it
best
should have been
horror
Conjuring
movie? It
versus
is
Scream.
Scream. Either way, I would have still chosen Scream. Scream is the best horror movie of all time. I will fight anyone on
We'll have to
that.
do it. We'll have to do a coin flip. We have to do a coin flip.
You have to redo a coin flip.
Dude, oh my god, I'm so mad about that.
Yeah, it was funny that it actually got me in the first round. That was pretty good for me. All right.
No, it got in the second round because didn't it be
Oh yeah, well yeah, I meant the first coin flip.
Ultras. So mad.
All right. So we finished the bracket. Now let's get into what we'll be talking about next week, and I guess things we're watching right now. Anything you watching right now? You catch
Right
up
now, I'm
with
trying to catch up. Yeah, trying to Peacemaker. I was watching a bit of anime here and there, but I do want to watch Black Phone. So, hopefully to give my take on the first movie. The second movie comes out. If I go to watch in theater.
Damn, the audio's cutting out a little bit right now.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. What you can look forward to for next week is I was talking about more about Black Phone. Do you plan on watching Scream too? So we can talk about that movie?
The second one, right?
Yeah.
How many do I have to watch? There's 6, right?
There's 6.
Okay. My math is mathing. I have until Sunday.
Yeah.
So I could probably get through for like 1 or 2.
Oh, if you get through 2 of them, that'll be goated. By the way, 3 is a step down, but it's still good. I still feel like it's good. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's as good as the other movies.
Because I have to watch
It's
the
cheesy.
second.
The third one's cheesy, but the second one is great. The fourth one I really like, and then after that, I feel like each one gets better for me personally. Also, we can do a tier list on Scream, which would be fun.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I would have to watch 2, 3,
I just dropped
5, and
but
I would have to watch 5 movies to catch up.
well, I mean, yeah, you have time obviously to watch the other ones, but I'm just saying by the end of it, we could do an actual tier list on that. And then
I'm actually down.
currently I'm watching Has Been Hotel. Oh, you plan on watching that too, right?
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Hopefully we'll be able to talk about that on the podcast at some point. Hopefully we'll talk about it by the time of the finale. We'll make like a whole episode dedicated to it. I really like that show. Yeah, no, that show definitely works for me. I really like it. I didn't think it was going to be my type of show, but I ended up really enjoying it. And we could probably get Gabriel to come on here since he actually really likes the show too.
Dude, Gabriel would be funny on the podcast.
Exactly.
We can make a special appearance.
So maybe we might have a friend of ours appear on the pod, and so we'll talk. We might talk about Has Been Hotel at some point. Let us know in the comments if you want us to talk about that. We'll also be talking about FNAF 2 when it comes out. Oh, and I actually forgot to mention this, Zootopia. Since apparently
I was gonna mention that. Yeah.
You're very much.
We have to watch
you're
that.
very much down to watch that. My sister might make an appearance for that actually.
We have to watch it, bro. I've been waiting.
Very, very adamant about watching it, and I was very shocked by that. She's like, "We have to watch it. We have to watch it." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
No, we really have
I think
to.
it's a great movie. It's not my favorite though, but
Hey.
I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not saying anything bad. I really like it. I think it's really good.
It might slightly be better than Scream.
I don't want to talk to you. This last podcast episode. So this is the final podcast episode, guys. I'd like to say that this was a good run.
What the fuck? Imagine we cancel the whole podcast after this.
The whole podcast. Like I can't do it with this. I can't do this podcast with this guy anymore. No, but yeah, no. We'll talk about Zootopia too. We'll talk about FNAF and also about upcoming Marvel and DC movies. There's obviously a few projects that are coming up that are very exciting for like everyone in general. So I'm very excited for the future of DC. We'll talk about how we're a little scared for Marvel, but
100%.
I think though Marvel has the potential to be the best for the upcoming years. And I mean, also Spider-Verse coming out in 2 years. Can't wait to review that on the pod.
Ooh, that's gonna be amazing.
Oh, definitely. Actually, maybe that's what we should do. We should do a Spider-Man tier list.
Because me have seen all of them, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can rewatch the ones that we don't remember that well. I mean, I've rewatched already a few of them. I have to rewatch the Tom Holland ones. I haven't seen those in a while.
I remember all of them like pretty well, actually.
I would say rewatch them just so you can get like your full opinion on them. Like you don't have to focus like 100% on it, but at least you can remember like the details of like certain things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we can do that if you guys want. We could do a tier list on that to let us know on what we should talk about. Comment down. Also, thank you for getting us so many views on that first episode. We really appreciate it. We really did not think it would do as well as it did. And we're also sorry for not getting this episode out as soon as we had hoped, but we did fix the issues that we had, and next episode we'll definitely release a lot faster. I'm gonna knock on some
straight away.
Now, though.
Straight away. No. Once episode 3 drops,
yep.
Welcome to Derry. We're dropping the podcast right after that.
We're literally dropping it that night. Yep. No. That'd be pretty crazy for us. That'd be pretty crazy for our editor. You know. That'd be wild.
No. We have to rush our editor. We have to get the episode dropped. Our viewers are expecting our podcast episode to drop. It's been 5 days. We pay him enough.
I edit the videos.
So do I. Help out.
Let's just stay quiet on that.
Yep, I have to take some credit into this.
Editing the videos. He's eating chips while I edit the videos.
But thank you for the views we got. We're grateful, but
we're very grateful for this video, and we're very grateful for the views. We hope that we can grow as a channel, and also if you guys. We would also appreciate subscribing, you guys subscribing and also liking these videos. And like I said, please let us know on what we could do to do better. And also comment down what you guys want us to like talk about. We're pretty open to a lot of things. We have a pretty good knowledge on movies and stuff. I mean, we're probably going to talk about Transformers at some point. He's a very big fan of Transformers, and so am I. Also, we have rivaling opinions on that, so that is another interesting thing that we could go into. But
rivaling?
On some things. Well,
yeah,
there you go. But that'll be it for today's podcast, and yeah, just let us know what you guys think, and thank you for everything. Any final words for you?
Thank you guys on the next podcast episode.
All right. And see you guys.
See you.